Hi everyone, happy Friday. It is the 21st of June and sorry, I am coming to you with wet hair because I have washed my hair because I need to film tomorrow morning. Well, I'm filming now, but I also need to film tomorrow morning. And I figured I would film something of a weekend vlog. I'm not quite sure what's really happening this weekend. I did have to duck up to one of the local shopping centres straight after work and pick up a top and some new pairs of jeans, so I might grab those out later and show you. I did that, came home, I've just eaten some food, I'm just catching up on some YouTube, and I'm about to continue reading Homestead for the latest Amazing Readathon leg prompt, and that's going to be tonight's plan. But yeah, this weekend is basically going to be housework. I've got a nail appointment tomorrow morning, I've got a film for the upcoming week, and I've got to get a few things done in terms of filming because next weekend I will be staying in the city and having a weekend in the city. I have 3 hockey games in 3 days, and I just realized tonight actually that I'm going to be in the city for the Firelight Festival, which I saw advertised last year but I didn't get to go to it. But I'm actually staying in the city and I'll be able to go this year, which is pretty exciting. I haven't decided which night I'm going to go to yet. I've got to work out where it fits in around hockey games. I did post my video of the fact that I have recently reached 4,000 subscribers, which still blows my mind. So if you would like to ask any Q&A questions, there is a video about it, but you are also very welcome to leave questions here. And questions can be bookish or not. They can be anything that you're kind of interested in that I haven't answered before, or if I have answered it but you've not seen me answer it, I'm certainly not going to not answer something. So feel free to drop questions on any of my videos. I am going to have to charge this camera battery because I don't think I've done it since last weekend, and it's going to start blinking at me soon. I don't know how interesting it's going to be. It's going to be reading and a lot of laundry and a lot of tidying and probably a little bit of work actually. I've got to get some things done. I've also got to send something to Heather tomorrow. Heather and I like using these Ray Dunn planners for planning our content, and last year neither of us could find them for this year, and so I think we both had to find alternatives, but I happened to be in TK Maxx, which I think is TJ Maxx elsewhere. Anyway, it's TK Maxx here. They had 2 of these left, so I grabbed one for her and one for me, and I need to put this in the post tomorrow, so that is also something that I need to do. The other exciting thing was I had some picture books arrive today. These are all by the same author because I've been wanting to do a bit of a dive into her work. It's Aura Parker. She has a shortlisted book this year called Bowerbird Blues. It's a great book. But this is Twig, Goodnight Glowworms, Coccoon, and Meerkat Splash, and I just kind of really love her art style, so I thought it would be fun to dive into those. So that might also happen this weekend, and while I'll film a specific video on the kids channel, maybe I can also talk a little bit about it here. So I'm going to go and finish Homestead because I'm technically buddy reading this with Heather, although she actually finished it before me, which I'm not surprised about because we both love this series, and I happen to be at work for the majority of the day, which is frustrating. So I'm gonna get on that and then I'll update you guys later. Hi guys, happy Saturday. I have not updated you yet this morning. It is currently 11:30 and I thought I would do a quick check-in before I get a few other bits and pieces done, and then I will jump into my next book. But last night I did finish Homestead. I'll talk about it as I am preparing dinner in the slow cooker in a little while. I read that last night, then I was catching up on some YouTube before I went to bed, and then this morning I got up. I have filmed my books beside my bed video and 3 videos for Kidlit Joy. I still have 2 more Kidlit Joy videos plus another video for this channel that I want to try and film today. I'm currently getting updates from Shae, who is reading the rest of the story, and that's great and emotional and making me want to reread the book for the 2nd time this month. I don't know, maybe that'll happen. But I also managed to post off the diary for Heather. I have been to the supermarket to get things to put on for dinner tonight. I'm going to make pea and ham soup in the slow cooker, and I went and re-got my nails done in black. I was going to do black and orange for the Mustangs, but didn't do that in the end. Oh, what's happened there? That's okay. Anyway, I just decided to go with black because pretty much everything I'm going to wear now for the next month is black because it's winter. So I figured that fits both the black and the orange of the Mustangs, but also just my general attire. So yes, I'm gonna go put dinner on the slow cooker while I just get updates as Shae is reading through probably the last little emotional hurdle in the rest of the story, which, yes. Anyway, I will probably after that I'm going to try and change the sheets and do the laundry, and then I'm going to start Stars by Tal Bauer. So this is why I'm not going straight into the rest of the story, because I have another chunky Tal Bauer book to read. So this is a slow cooker. The lid is not going to sit properly on it because I only have a baby slow cooker because I'm just one person. So we're going to hope that this works. But it is green split peas, there's some potato, there's some carrot, there's some celery, there's some parsnip, there's the ham hock and some onion. I very rarely cook with onions, so we're going to see how this turns out. Okay, we're improvising with a glass bowl. I just hope it doesn't fall. Hi friends, so I'm actually editing this video and I realized I never came back and talked about Homestead. Anyway, so Homestead is the second to last story in the Kindled series, and it follows Jimmy and Claire, and the two of them are an unlikely couple. Chloe has spent the 8 years since the asteroid impact with her grandfather living in a cabin in the woods. He was a doomsday prepper, and so he had everything prepared, and so they've lived off-grid for 8 years. And at the very start of the book, they're out sort of hunting for new supplies, and her grandfather is killed. And she is assisted by this strange guy, and he offers her a place with his family because she's on her own, and his name is Jimmy. And so Chloe ends up spending time with Jimmy's family, and then Jimmy comes to her with a proposal. He doesn't live at his family's home. He has his own property close by. And he says, you know, in exchange for her help around the house and for his protection, he would really like to have her come and stay with him. And the whole way through the series, this is a really common thing because it's very much alpha male character kind of thing. But Jimmy, he's adorable. So Chloe agrees, and, you know, she goes into it knowing that they're going to have sex and that, you know, it's probably just a mutually beneficial arrangement. So, you know, she's not getting invested in it, and these two, they just need to talk to one another because both of them have feelings and they just don't talk about it. And it's kind of very much like every other book in the series, but one of my more favorite ones of the last few books, definitely. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, lots of heavy content warnings in this one. There is death, there is violence, there is an attempted essay at one point, not between the two main characters, but yeah, gun violence, all of that sort of thing. I'm thoroughly enjoying this series. I'm gonna be so sad when the next and last book comes out, because then it'll be done. So I said I would show you what I got from Just Jeans. Just a really basic rib long sleeve top, which is perfect for winter. I actually have a few more of these coming because I literally wear them every day underneath hoodies and everything else that I wear. 2 pairs of the Amaze skinny jeans. This fabric is super soft and stretchy and is really comfortable to wear. I wear them out really quickly because I wear jeans all the time. So yes, 2 pairs of those. These ones are their slim boyfriend cut jeans in the Amaze fabric, which I haven't tried before, but I tried them on in the change room and that was so super comfy. And I do have to actually get rid of a lot of jeans, old jeans, because like I wear them till they fall apart. We're at that stage at the moment. I'm going to take all the tags off, pop them all in the wash and start all my loads of washing. I've changed the sheets on the bed. I've come up with my bubble lid on the slow cooker. Look, I tried to find the smallest ham hock that I could find, and I probably need to find something else to use instead of the ham hock because I only have like a 3-litre slow cooker because I'm one person. But I don't know, I think the glass bowl will work fine in this case as long as I don't knock it. A few more chores and then I'm going to start Stars. All right, so I am nearly a third of the way into Stars by Tal Bauer, which is the second book in the Executive Power series, which is the spin-off of the Executive Office series. So we are quite far into a story. So the main romance plot in here is between Sergei, who is the president of Russia, and Sasha, who was a pilot who was attacked and left for dead in the Executive Office series. And together they ended up working together to help save the world with Ethan and Jack in that series. And Sasha's dream has always, he's a pilot, his dream has always been to be an astronaut. And Ascendant, I think, the first book in this series, Sasha has a lot to work out. He struggles with being gay, and obviously he was attacked because he was gay, and he's also struggling with being in a relationship with Sergei when it could have sort of serious implications. So in Stars, they're finally in a really good place. Sasha has gone off to America. He is training with NASA to be a pilot. And in fact, he has graduated. He is a pilot. He's just waiting for his first mission. And of course, the subplot of these rogue groups trying to destroy the world continues in this series as well, and in this case we have just had an old Soviet satellite that has hot weapons activated, and it's previously been declared dead, so no one was keeping eyes on it. And so the first mission that Sasha is going to be flying on is one to try and board and stop this satellite from doing whatever it is it's going to be doing. Ethan and Jack have been in here as well. They are investigating some bioweapons stuff, which links in with other parts of the series as well. It's been really nice to see Sasha on his own and sort of get the story of how he's coped in America. Sasha is like this precious being. He is not at all alpha or toxic. He is in fact just very afraid that being who he is going to get him or Sergei into trouble. And what he finds out is that NASA could care less that he's gay. He does manage to sneak Sergei in to Family Day, which doesn't cause problems at the time, but people recognize who Sergei is, and so that may have potential implications moving forward. In fact, the lead pilot for this mission, who is very close with Sasha, has recognized that Sergei is the president, and I'm pretty sure that's going to come out in conversation very soon. Like, it's Tal Bauer. It's really good. It's very intense, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. So I'll keep you posted.
And then slotting in rather nicely into a defensive position there as play reverses for a third time in short order here.
Lane gets the better of Clemmy. That'll come all the way back down. Flodell
hands it off behind his net.
His pads almost match the jersey. It's hard for an import goalie. It is,
but it's frustrating that they match the opposition team's jersey today, doesn't it?
Very true.
That bugs me a lot more than it should.
All right, hi friends, the hockey's on. So Mustangs are playing Sydney Bears. I'm in my oversized, giant, enormous hoodie because this is what I wear when I watch the game at home, because it's super cozy. So we are 2-2 at the end of the second period. Dinner's ready, so I'm going to go get that in a minute. I've just put some bread in the oven to toast it, and then we shall eat the pea and ham soup. So all I have done so far is I've blitzed it, and I have put a box of frozen spinach in it because, yeah, let's just put more veggies in there, and cut up the ham hock and pop that back in. So it's just been warming for like 30 minutes. Not me just putting the lid in the soup, but anyway, that's what the soup looks like. Looks pretty tasty. Hi everyone, happy Sunday. I don't think I updated you last night after I finished Stars, or if I did, this clip is going to be extra that I don't need. Anyway, at about this point in the book, this whole thing turned into a sci-fi horror story with a romantic subplot, because poor Sasha is stuck on the ISS with a biological weapon. If you are not someone who likes romantic suspense or cannot handle blood, gore, and very violent death, not the book for you at all. Fantastic book, incredible writing. Like, it's a 500-page book and I sped through it in about 4 hours total, but yeah, got a bit gory there in the end. But I'm happy because Sasha and Sergei got their HEA, or happy for now. And the way that it ended does, you know, kind of leave it open for Tal Bauer to come back and explore some of the characters in this series. So, I mean, that's always cool. And because you had Ethan and Jack's subplot, so Jack, I don't think I explained this earlier, but in the Executive Office series, Jack is the president of the US and Ethan is his head of the Secret Service. And they fall in love and whatever. And at the end of that book, they form their own sort of security agency kind of thing, which is present very heavily in this book. So there's lots of sort of revisiting characters from the first series. There's a lot of political maneuvering, all sorts. So, I mean, I love the series, but yeah, definitely not for anyone who does not like blood or gore. And then after that, I needed a book that had a vehicle on the front cover, a car or a plane or a boat or something like that. So I read The Tender Moments of Saffron Silk because there is a pickup truck over here. This is part of the Kingdom of Silk series and is just exquisite. This one, it's about a family and all of the children that they have. And Saffron is one of the daughters. I think there are 5 of them. And Saffron deals with chronic migraines. And so this book is her being diagnosed with that. And the books always have this like touch of whimsy / magical realism element to it. It's not real magic, but it has that feeling to it, particularly because this family is really close and what they celebrate together are the small moments. And Saffron is very much about all of those tender moments that make up the majority of her life. So it's a really gorgeous little series, and I'm glad that I was able to find a book that I owned with a vehicle on the cover. So now I'm back to doing more laundry with the dryer, and I forgot to close the door, so sorry if you can hear that in the background. I have to do some video editing this morning and I don't know if I'm going to go see my sister and my niece. I'm just waiting to hear from them. So I shall keep you posted with what I get up to throughout the day. All right, I have one video edited. I am not going to see my sister today. She has gone to her in-laws. I have started reading Learning to Feel by N.R. Walker, which I think is her debut. I'm going to count it as the debut because this is the closest I managed to get to finding out a debut author, and it's really fun so far. It's about Nathan, who's a doctor. He was working in a big hospital in Boston and was kind of just feeling a bit run down on life. He's been struggling with relationships, and so he takes this position as a doctor in a small town outside of Boston, or 3 hours from Boston. And this position comes with a house, and when he gets there he finds that the person that the town has hired to sort of fix up and paint and maintain the house is living there while he's working, and his name is Trent. And straight away Nathan is attracted to him, and it's weird for him because he's never been attracted to a guy, but he's never been attracted to anyone before, so the whole thing is just for him a new experience. And basically they hit it off straight away. Very much does fall into they start having sex pretty quickly on in the story while Nathan is still figuring himself out. I am currently 30% into the book. I am enjoying it. I think it's going to be one of those discovering yourself stories and feeling comfortable in your own skin. He isn't freaking out about being gay. He's just mostly freaking out because he's never been attracted to anyone before. I will update you when I read some more of that, but I just got a phone call. My parents are coming past this way, so we're going to go and have a coffee at one of their local cafes, and yeah, then I will keep reading. All right, so it's a little bit later. I did go and have a hot chocolate with my parents, and then I came back. I finished Learning to Feel by N.R. Walker, which was fine. You can tell it's one of her earlier works, so like, it was a sweet story. It's not one of my favorites, but I'm glad that I read it because it's good to see where an author's work starts and where they get to, because there's so many things by N.R. Walker that I absolutely love, and I can tell how far she's come since her earliest works. So that was great. Then I read Death's Obsession. This one was for the 500 points prompt to read a book with a character's name in the title. One of the main characters in the story is Death. He does have another name, but he is Death, so that counts. And this one is about a girl who is being stalked by Death, and it's their romance. It's a dark romance. Not my favorite thing ever, but also not the worst thing ever. And then we just had the next city prompt drop, which is Bangkok, and we have to read a book with at least 5 colors on the cover. I'm going to read Whiskey and Sin because there's teal, there's blue, there's red, light red, dark red, there's purple, there's orange. There's at least 5 colors on this cover. So I'm going to read this one. It's another chunky book, but I'm hoping that I can get through it fairly quickly. And it is the last unread Emily Rath book on my list, which is kind of cool. Maybe I can do a guide to Emily Rath books. I don't know. Alright, so I'm about 40% of the way into Whiskey and Sin. It is an Omegaverse romance, and I'm still not entirely sold on Omegaverse stories. I never really have been, but this one's fine because it's Emily Rath and it's her writing style, and it's fairly quick and easy to get through. So there is that. We have Silas, who is on the run. He is an Omega who has been on blockers, and so he has been sort of passed around from pack to pack and treated quite badly and involved in sex trafficking and drug running and things like that because he's had no control over his life. And he finally escapes at the start of the book, and he is picked up on the side of the road by Bear, who lives in a small town, is a really decent guy. He's an alpha, but he has sort of separated from his own pack, his own family pack, because of a series of events. The majority of his parents have passed away or left, and so he doesn't feel like he's part of his own pack anymore. But he takes in Silas. He thinks Silas is a beta and is just trying to help him out. And meanwhile, Silas's former pack is trying to get him back. So that is where we are. The hockey starts in about 15 minutes, so I'm going to go get one of my jerseys. We are playing the Sydney Ice Dogs tonight in Sydney. They're at the same rink they were at last night. So I'm going to watch that game. I will hopefully edit some videos while I'm doing that, and then also finish reading this away jersey for the away game.
This is AIHL TV. Readers Network.
The bottom two teams in the Hellier Conference on this Sunday evening hockey is the Mustangs and the Ice Dogs. And it is Logan Liddell who will be in for the Stangs, and for the Ice Dogs it is Avina, the Swedish goaltender.
So we lost again. Anyway, that's fine. I'm going to continue finishing this book off. I'm also almost all of the way through Magic Bleeds because I put it on while I was cooking dinner and doing some things during the period breaks. So we are going to move on from that, and they got very close. It was 3-5. The last goal was an empty net goal because they were 3-4 at 1 minute left in the game. So I hate it when they pull goalies. I know why they do it, but I hate it. Time to finish the book. All right, so I finished Whiskey and Sin, and I think ultimately it's probably my least favorite of Emily Rath's books, which is ironic because she has historical romances and they very rarely rank above anything else that I read. And that's not to say that it's a bad book. I think I'd probably give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's just that like a megaverse is not my thing. It is very dramatic, particularly in the last sort of third, because once sort of Silas and Bear get over their initial reluctance and issues, you're still dealing with Silas's history and the pack that's coming after him. So there are some violence and some things like that. And then also Bear, I can't even remember if I talked about this in other clips, but Bear is estranged from his own pack and is dealing with quite a few things. His sister is great though. I loved his sister when she came back. And you know, there's complications in there with family. So it was an interesting read. I don't regret reading it at all, but it just sits in that it's an okay book for me. So there is that. And now I have officially read everything in Emily Rath's backlist currently. Oh no, with maybe the exception of something that she might have in the anthology for Palestine, which I have anyway, or I've got pre-ordered. I don't think, is it out yet? I don't know. After that I will have officially read everything. So yay. I am going to listen to the rest of Magic Bleeds just to wrap out this vlog. Alright, it's time to wrap up this vlog, and I finished Magic Bleeds, Magic Slays, which is book 5 in the Kate Daniels series, so yay, that's done. And it was just as good as it always is, and obviously this one is where we see Kate start to use some of the powers that she hasn't used before and that freak everyone out, so there's that. It's also a lot of, it introduces quite a few more pack members who become very prominent throughout the series. Then after that I decided to do some more sightseeing, because why not? It's a Sunday and I've only got less than 10 sightseeing prompts left, plus 2 more main prompts, so maybe I can finish everything before the end of the month. I don't know, we'll see. So for 100 points I read a book with a number in the title. This was 12 Days of Christmas by N.R. Walker. This is just a series of short vignettes that is, I think it must be a sequel to 65 Days, which I haven't read yet, but is still on my list of things to read this month. And this is a lead up to Christmas. So it's literally the 12 days of Christmas between Cameron and Lucas is buying Cameron all of these gifts and gifting them to him each day in the lead up to Christmas. And it was actually very, very sweet. And this one hit right at the 50-page mark, so it still counted, and I'm just like, excellent. And then I decided to read 2 more books in the Kingdom of Silk series by Glenda Millard. So for 300 points I read Layla, Queen of Hearts, which is a third-person story, and this one is about Layla, who is friends with the Silk family, and in this book she has to find someone to take with her to like a grandparents' day at her school, but she doesn't have grandparents, and she befriends an older woman called Miss Emily, and Miss Emily has what we the reader would know to be dementia, but she gets to know Miss Emily and is able to bring her to the school day, and they strike up this close friendship. But of course, being a happy sad book, this one does end a bit sad, but it's always very hopeful in the way that these characters connect and they deal with grief and loss and happy moments and tender moments. Like, it's just a really gorgeous series. And then for 200 points in an isolated setting, because this is set in a small town and most of the time we are at the Kingdom of Silk, which is the family home, which like it's very closed, and you get the sense that they're not connected to they're not close to a city, and it's a very tight-knit community. So All the Colours of Paradise is about Perry, who is a boy that the Silk family have adopted. They fostered and then adopted him. And we know he has a language delay or some kind of learning difficulty. And he's only just started going to school and he's sort of struggling with the routine and getting into everything. And he makes a connection with Mr. Kadri, who owns the Colour Patch Cafe. And Mr. Kadri came to Australia as an immigrant and had to rebuild his life here before he could bring his family out. And as such, he likes to give back to the community. And he has this art competition as part of the school's local fair. And he encourages Perry to contribute to it. They're just beautiful little junior fiction, early middle fiction stories. There's a lot of depth to them, and it's been really nice to be able to reread some of these in the last month. So yes, and that is where we are wrapping up this vlog because I'm tired. I have to go to work tomorrow. My Discord keeps beeping, and yeah, I need sleep. You'll probably get my final wrap up-ish. Well, no, you'll get the upcoming week's wrap up in my next Books Beside My Bed video, and then I'll have another weekend vlog for the last couple of days that will go up after that one. So we will wrap up this readathon in as timely a fashion as we possibly can. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave me, what did I read this weekend? Oh my gosh. Leave me your favorite drink emoji down below, because we read Whiskey and Sin. So feel free to leave a drink emoji down below. Otherwise, I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.